your pinhead. You got your nice clean outfit on. You know, you got your pink shirt, you got your hat to match. I see you, boy. You know, who you about to go out there and trick with? You look like a fucking faggot. You know, wearing all that pink, getting on camera like that. And think you're not going to get talked about. You're contributing to the feminization of the black man. You know, and that's why I'm going to troll your ass in the comment section. What do the clothes I'm wearing have to do with the content of my video? YouTuber just like making videos, and a lot of you guys are like, Pinhead, where you been? You know, and so I've been away from YouTube for a while, and it's funny that if you follow the status of my channel, right before I took my hiatus, my next to my last video was one of my highest viewed videos, a video that got people talking, got a positive response. It was a video I did called The Truth About Section 8, you know, and in this video I'm just doing straight up talking. I'm not going at anybody. I'm not talking about a clip that just went viral like Willie D. It was just me talking about Section 8 and the government and the private sector, you know, and it was one, it got over 9,000 views. And that's good for somebody like me. And then afterwards, I just dropped off of YouTube. And then if you look at my other, like my very last video, like I talked about U-Haul. There was a image of a single black mother on the back of a U-Haul truck. And that's because I was moving. I was getting a truck to move all my stuff out and put it into U-Haul storage. And I went to work for Greyhound. You know, anybody that's who watch my YouTube videos and also a Facebook friend of mine know that, you know what I'm saying, I've been posting pictures up of me working for Greyhound. You know what I'm saying, I became a bus driver, you know, so that's what I've been doing. I've been on the road. I wasn't thinking about making YouTube videos and so forth. I was taking them long trips, trying to get that long money. And that's the reason why I left YouTube. One of the reasons was, when I wasn't really expired. You know, I was looking at the type of videos that got a bunch of views, and it just seemed like that's a bunch of celebrity gossip, you know, a bunch of people talking about shit that they really don't know. And all they doing is they hear something in the media of somebody doing something, they make a fucking video about it. I'm like, you don't know, man. It's just, you know, I just wasn't inspired. And I also was in financial disarray. You know, I was in a financial slump. I owed money for taxes. You have to understand, for my whole duration of being on YouTube, creating a Pinhead Blackston, you know, I work for myself. You know, I've mentioned this before. You know, I know the religious snitch was like, oh, what does he do for a living? You know, I did Medicaid transport, and I expedited. You know what I'm saying? All those. You know, I've talked about this before on my channel, but business started going downhill, and really, you know, I just never really made the money that I thought I should be making or I was expecting to make. I always had pride in the fact that I work for myself. I don't have the white men lingering over my shoulder. I don't have to wear a uniform. Don't have to put on a name tag. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to go by a work schedule. If I want to take a day off, I take it off. If I want to take a week off, I want to take a week off. But, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't making any money. Because you got to understand, when you work on your own, you're on your own. There's just no job security. You know what I'm saying? You got to calculate all your expenses. And then when you do taxes, you know what I'm saying? I got in trouble for taxes, man. The government was coming after me. And, you know, there's like a self-employed tax, which I think is fucking ridiculous. You know, it's like they make it really hard for people that want to work for themselves. an example of what I'm going through. Think about Uber and Lyft drivers. You know what I'm saying? Uber and Lyft drivers, they are fighting to get unemployment benefits because technically they weren't employees. They're contractors. You know, that's why I said when you work for Uber and Lyft, you do your own thing. You know, you make your own schedule when you don't want to work, you know what I'm saying, you don't work and so forth. You know what I'm saying? That's the perks of working for them. But then, you know what I'm saying, when businesses, because of the coronavirus, you know, and doing that, unless you're paying into taxes, unless you're paying into unemployment, you're not going to get these benefits, you know. But it's good that Uber and Lyft drivers are fighting. But you know what I'm saying. But I see it both ways, and that's what I've been doing my thing, driving around. I've been doing that since 2000 and I'll say 2005. You know what I'm saying, ever since I've been on YouTube. But I knew eventually I'm going to have to crawl back to that white man. You know, I know I'm being subtle here. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's about job security. You know what I'm saying? I just wasn't making it. This is not to discourage anybody from doing their own thing. And I know here in the pro-black community that, oh man, you got to be your own boss. They stress this idea, you got to be your own boss. You got to be your own boss, man. Don't work for that white man. You're going to end up being a slave. Well, I tell you this, like the bills are coming. You know what I'm saying? Your insurance, your light bill, your medical bills. You know what I'm saying? Them bills are there. Them bills don't give a fuck if you're self-employed or you're working for the white man or doing what. They got to be paid. So, and then on top of that, I was messing with this crazy chick, man. I'm like, man, I never thought I had to get a restraining order against a woman, you know what I'm saying? Where the cops got involved. And I'm like, she was a little sexy thing too. I'm like, she kind of reminded me of Jada Pinkett Smith. She was even built like her. She had that little hair on her lip. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's just me, but I find that sexy. They say women with a tad bit of hair on their lip are hypersexually active. You know, that's true. And that they're crazy. And one time we was driving. Come on, Pinhead. Come on, dog, man. Tell the true story. That female was a lush head. And you had no problems going to the liquor store for her every time she snapped her fingers. And you was eating that pussy, man. Get out of here, dude. I was riding down the street, and she got a hold of my clutch, and she threw my car. When my car was moving, she just threw it into park. Man, that was, you know what I'm saying? And that fucked up my transmission. And I didn't have money to get a new transmission on a car. I didn't have money to even get another car. My van was paid for. So you can see the situation I was in. So first, you know what I'm saying? So I had to apply for Greyhound. I applied for Greyhound because somebody a long time ago put a bud in my ear about, you know, working for Greyhound. But it's a process. So I put in an application. It's a waiting game because they gotta wait. They gotta put you inside their schools, their training facility. So while I'm waiting, I said, "Hey, I need some money right now." So I got a job at a gas station. You know what I'm saying? And I had to take the bus there because I had no more cars. So I had this crummy job and I had to ride the bus. And there's nothing wrong with working at a gas station, riding a bus. It was just something I had to get adjusted to for the time being. And working at a gas station, oh Lord, you know what I'm saying? I was doing things that I hadn't did since I was a teenager, mopping floors, cleaning bathrooms. You know, working at a gas station, they want you to stock supplies, work the cash register. Man, that's so frustrating. Getting people cigarettes. People be like, I want Newport shorts, I want Newport longs, I want Newport lights, and all these different kind of cigarettes and different types of certain brands. I'm not a smoker. You know, I don't understand why they didn't just put the cigarettes out there with the fucking candy bars and let people pick up their own cigarettes and bring them to the counter. But I understand there's a lot of thieves out there. Cigarettes are expensive. I had to do lottery, doing with rude customers, and I was like, dang, man. I was like, man, I can't wait for Greyhound to go ahead and give me that call so I can make a move. And then also before I went to Greyhound, I had to get me a Class B learner's permit. So I had to study for that little test to be Class B, that's CDL Class B learner's permit, you know, take a physical and all that. You know, and some of you guys are wondering, you know, how much does a Greyhound driver make? You know, they start out normally at like 22 something dollars an hour. You know, not bad. And you know what I'm saying, it's paid training. You go down to the training. They got multiple training facilities. I went to the one in New Jersey, in Atlantic City, New Jersey. You know, Trump's old territory. And boy, did he leave his mark there. That place is sort of desolate. And you know what I'm saying? And then, of course, Greyhound is going to pay for your trip to wherever you're at. Like, they paid for my trip from Indianapolis to New Jersey. You know, like I had to pay for it myself or get there on my own. And when heading to the Greyhound station, I was like to myself, man, can I really do this? Man, driving them big buses, driving that contraption filled with people from state to state. But it's funny that the woman, you know, because I got on the Greyhound to go to Atlantic City, and I remember my driver. My driver was a very attractive, petite black woman, older black woman, and I was saying to myself, and she was very nice, and I was saying to myself, man, if she can do it, so can I. And this isn't to say that anything a woman can do, a guy can do better. It just gave me motivation. Matter of fact, black women pretty much run Greyhound. You know, too many black women driving a semi truck, but there's a lot of cute black chicks cute black women that are bus drivers. You know what I'm saying? That they're filling out their uniforms. And you know, even working at the ticket counter, the bosses running the stations. So I have a big appreciation for black women. Matter of fact, a black woman is the one who hired me on. She was the one who gave the green light for me to go down to the facility. You know what I'm saying? So become a driver. And at first, you got to get your CDL permit. Training is paid training. You get 100. First of all, there's 3 phases of training. One is the computer. You're taking a bunch of tests on the computer, or you're watching a bunch of videos. Then they test you about what you saw. And then we're talking about freaking almost 10 hours of videos. You know what I'm saying? You guys said you don't have to do it in one day, but over the process before phase 2 starts, you better have these videos watched and did all the little tests. It's real easy. And you know, of course, you got to have your CDLB learner's permit with passenger endorsement. So once you know what I'm saying, it's $100 a day. I know I'm repeating myself. Phase 2, the training is for 2 weeks, $100 a day. You're going to be training for 6 days a week. They pay for your food. You're going to be up in a hotel. Everything's paid for. So I was like, what do I got to lose? The thing is, Greyhound's motto was, they're not there to teach you how to drive. They're teaching you all the other stuff of being a Greyhound driver, code and conduct, and how to fill out your freaking log and so forth. As far as bus, they're like, we're not, like, you're supposed to have kind of like this common sense, you know, even though you're driving this big, and they don't call it buses there, they call it a motor coach. 2 days of this little obstacle course, driving around cones or whatever, then they're putting you out there in the streets. and I was learning how to drive in the snow. It was the winter time, and then in Atlantic City, you know, it was very close to Philadelphia. I was in Monty Woodgreen territory, man. And in Philly, man, them streets are narrow and everybody parks on the side. So I had to really learn how to master and turning that bus. You know, all about, you know what I'm saying, getting trained driving in New York City and that Lincoln Tunnel Bridge. You know, that was nerve-wracking, but, you know, I got used to it. And before you know it, I was making money. I was making a lot of. I made a lot of money working for Greyhound. And I'm not the type of person that brags about, you know what I'm saying, the money I got and so forth. I resigned from Greyhound, so just in case some of you trolls out there, you know, so want to call them up and get me fired, you know, but you know, it's not going to work. But I made good money. Now I want to give a shout out to Philip Cook. If anybody watching this video is interested in working for Greyhound and so forth, or are a bit curious, there's a guy, a YouTuber by the name of Philip Cook. He's a Greyhound driver, man. He has a bunch of useful information. Matter of fact, that's what I was doing. I was watching his videos religiously. You know, he talks about the ins and outs, getting paid, the trainers, what to look for on the test, you know, things of that nature. You know, very important. I'm like, his channel like validates why YouTube is here. You know, his later videos, he's talking about airplanes. You know, because I guess he's trying to get his a pilot's license. Like this, now this dude is really elevating. You know, first he talked about being a struggling security guard, and then he gets on at Greyhound and making this money with Greyhound. He was afforded to take flight lessons. And now this brother is on his way of being he want to be a private pilot or a pilot for private airlines, you know. So, you know, you can check out his channel. Real positive brother, you know. We need people like that. But at Greyhound, man, I was making a lot of money, you know what I'm saying? It was to the point where if I wasn't making at least $1,000 a week, I'm ready to rip up my check like Denzel Washington Glory. 1 week I made $1,800 in 1 week, man. I was going to different strip clubs, man, dropping $500 and $600 on some straight nigga shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Excuse my language. But you know what I'm saying? And then plus, you know what I'm saying, getting paid overtime, the bonuses, holiday pay, was like, it's something I had to get back getting used to. You know what I'm saying? I worked over 40 hours this week, so I got to get paid time and a half. You know, when you work for yourself, when you work on your own, you know what I'm saying, you can work for 100 hours a week. You might not even make a profit. You know, you're not guaranteed. And we have to be lucky that this system is in there. Plus, I was unionized. This system is in there where you can work a job, and certain jobs, you know what I'm saying, you get paid time and a half and so forth. And these rules and regulations for employees. But now I'm going to move on to the second part of my video. A friend of mine. Now this dude, he's still a friend of mine. He might be watching this video. Back when he was like 24 years old, me and him around the same age. Back when we were like 24 years old, he opened his own cell phone business. Now this is back when everybody started getting a cell phone. You know what I'm saying? It's become very common. But this was before the iPhones and the smartphones and so forth, and the Androids. You know, when people were still chirping, like chirp, you know, them phones with the chirping, and people were still got the Nokia. He had a business called Wireless Plus that was on, for anybody who lived in the city, was located at 79th in Michigan, in the plaza near the Walmart. You know, if you got a business near a Walmart, you know what I'm saying, that's a good location. You know, he did cell phones, you know what I'm saying, did contracts. He also sold other electronics like cameras. You know, and he had so much pride in being his own boss. You know what I'm saying? He used to gloat about it. He used to tell me that, hey, you should be doing this. I remember one time we was walking through a mall and we came across a kiosk. Some girl was working a kiosk, and he asked her, hey, do you own this? And he's like, no. She was like, no, I'm just an employee. Like, as you can, it's not that hard. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like, you know what I'm saying? He was on cloud 9 because he was his own man. And his business folded. You know, it folded. He ended up in a bunch of debt. And to the point where to get out of this debt, or to stop people from coming after him, you know, he wanted to become a Moorish American, you know, a Moor. And then eventually he joined the Air Force. You know, bear in mind, at this point he's only 24, 25. So he was still young enough. You know, he went into the Air Force. So he went from being his own boss, running his own company, to now joining the Air Force and not even having control of his mind and body. But he got out the Air Force. He's in the National Reserve. He's actually a cable man. He's doing well for himself. You know, got a house, he pays a mortgage, you know what I'm saying, got wife, got kids, and, you know what I'm saying, he's been doing cable, you know what I'm saying, in sales, hooking up people's cable, disconnecting people's cable. But, you know, for some people, you know, maybe just working for a major corporation where you have this sort of security or blanket. You know, even when you work for a major corp, if you lose your job and so forth, and you've been there for a while, you can get you can draw unemployment. You know, when you're on your own, you're literally on your own. But I plan on getting me a party bus. You know what I'm saying? I'm still a licensed bus driver. I still got my CDL bill.